Hi guys, welcome back to Ashart Books. Today I'm going to be doing my November book haul. There is about a week left in November, but I just don't think I'm going to be buying any more books because I've already bought quite enough, and yeah, I just don't think I'll buy any more, so I figured I might as well go ahead and talk about them. So let's get started. So the first stack of books I have is from Books A Million. I was by the mall recently, and the bargain book section in Books A Million gets me every time because if you're not familiar, they have a pretty good bargain book section in Books A Million, and it's not my favorite bookstore, but it has a really good bargain section. So a lot of their books are ranged from like $2 to $5, and I get sucked in every time. The first two actually aren't from that bargain book section. They are historical romances, which I'm kind of sad that I didn't wait because later in the month I got a much better deal on historical romances, but that's okay, not a big deal. So I already read one of them, and that is A Wild in Love by Eloisa James. This is her newest release, and I will talk about this one in my wrap-up, so stay tuned for that. And the next one I got was No Other Duke Will Do by Grace Burrows. I haven't read anything by Grace Burrows, but I know she's another big name in the like historical romance world. It just sounded really good. It's about a duke, I believe, it's always about a duke, isn't it, who is kind of down on his luck money-wise and kind of needs to marry someone rich, and a woman who has no intention of marrying, of course, but somehow these two are, but she's very wealthy, and so these two are kind of stuck together. So I haven't read this one yet, but it sounds really cute, and I liked the cover. Next one I got is one I've already read and own on my Kindle, but I wanted to kind of own it in physical form, and that was Gabriel's Redemption by Sylvain Reynard. You guys probably have heard me talk about him before. This is the last and the third book and last book in the Gabriel's Inferno series, I think it's called. I own the first one in physical form, and now I own the third one in physical form, so I need to get the second one to complete the trilogy, but this was on sale for $3.97, so I kind of figured it was worth it. I don't love buying books I own on my Kindle if they're really expensive because it just seems like a waste to me, but when I find them cheap, I try and pick them up. So I really love this series. If you haven't read it, I highly recommend any of his books. He also has a paranormal series out called the first one's The Raven, so they're really good. Next book I got was The Dark Days Club by Alison Goodman. This is a YA, I guess you'd call it like historical paranormal. I've looked at getting this book for so long, and it was kind of expensive and I didn't want to spend the money, but it was for $4.97, so I went ahead and picked it up, and it sounds so good. I'm really excited to get to this. This is about a girl named Helen, and she's 18 in London society. It takes place in 1800s, 1812 I think it is, and she's about to be kind of presented to society, but right before she's presented, she is kind of thrust into, they call it, like, I just read in the synopsis, it says like the shadows of London, and so that's kind of like, I believe it has to do with like a paranormal, I don't know if it's like a paranormal society, but paranormalness, and I think it has to do with demons and things like that. I didn't want to read too much into it because I didn't want to kind of just go into it without knowing it, but I think anything with historical and some kind of paranormal is really interesting. I love the Cassandra Clare Clockwork Angel series, and that's kind of just that so well, the historical with paranormal, so I'm hoping that I will like this one and combine two of my favorite things to read about in one book. So the next thing I got is the library was having a library book sale, and I went by just because I know you can get really good deals on them, but I've never been before, and all the money goes back to the library. So I went by, and they didn't have like a ton of YA at all. They didn't have that many kind of genres that I usually reach for, but they did have a ton of historical romance paperbacks, and all of them were, I think they were 5 for $1. So I got like 15 historical romance paperbacks for $3. I mean, how do you say no to that? So I'm not gonna go through each one. They're down here in this really big, hold on. See, they're in this huge bag here, which I need to like actually go through, but there's so many of them. So I'm not gonna go through every book in this video, at least, just because we will be here all day. But yeah, I kind of went through and tried to pick out authors that I had either read before, someone had recommended to me before, or at least was familiar with, but I kind of figured if I don't love them, it was only like 25 cents. So I'll give them away or donate them to somewhere else. So yeah, if you are interested in seeing that, I could do it in a separate video, so let me know below, but I just think that's way too many books, and they're all I'm pretty sure they're all historical romances. So for those of you out there who love those, let me know. Maybe I can put a picture on my Instagram or something, because I just think we'll be here all day. But I was super excited, and I am set on historical romances now. Like, I don't need to buy any more for like a year, or at least until I'm through all these. That's why I said before, I was kind of sad I had bought the other two at Barnes Books A Million for full price earlier in the month when I got like 15 for $3, but it's okay, live and learn. Those were new releases anyway, so they wouldn't have been at the library book sale. But moving on, the next set of books I got was from my used bookstore. I went by there actually to look for a couple of gifts for people. Those aren't in here, just, I don't know, I just didn't feel like I needed to include them, but I did find some gifts for Christmas for people there. But I also picked up a couple books for myself, and these are what they are. First one I got is Suddenly Royal by Nicole Chase. In my like royalty recommendations video, I mentioned this book. I own it on my Kindle, but again, I really wanted to own it in physical form. How cute is this cover? I really, really love it. It's about a girl who's like in grad school, but she meets a guy and he's some kind of royalty. I'll leave it there. But I really just saw it. It was cheap and I wanted to own the book, so I bought it. The next book is The Sweetest Burn by Janine Frost. This is a paranormal romance, and I read the first one like 2 years ago, and it has a completely different cover, mind you, because I don't know, it just looks completely different. And so I didn't even know this was the second one, but I had been looking for the second one. Anyways, so this is the second one to that series, and I believe it just follows a guy and a girl who, there's some kind of like I have to reread the first one because it's been so long, but it sounds like they're on like this search for some kind of supernatural something. I can't remember exactly what it is, if we're being honest, but it was really good. I liked it a lot. It was cute. The next two are from Wendy Higgins, and they are Unknown and Unrest by Wendy Higgins. So these are, I was really shocked to see these there, which is why I bought them, because they are self-published, I believe. I love Wendy Higgins' other series, which is the Sweet Evil trilogy, and I love, love, love them. I've talked about them before, but this one I had seen on her website, and I'd seen like just on the internet, but I'd never seen in book form, because I'm pretty sure, I thought it was only available on Kindle, but apparently not, because they had them at the used bookstore, and I was so excited. So this is a post-apocalyptic romance. So basically, this unknown enemy has bombed all of the major US cities, and obviously that has catastrophic, you know, problems from that, and it kind of follows a girl and a guy through that. And I haven't really read anything like that. Obviously I've read post-apocalyptic like dystopian books before, but I haven't read anything like romance based. So I thought that would be really interesting, and they had book 1 and 2, so I figured I'd buy them. They weren't like super cheap, because regular price they were like $15, so even half price they were still like $6.50, but or $7. Anyways, so I'm really excited to get these because I love Wendy Higgins, and I'm really excited to see what she does with like a different kind of genre. And the last book is Cordelia's Royal Family. I don't know if I'm saying that right, by Nora Roberts. I have never read a Nora Roberts book. Obviously, she's like the best known romance author like ever, but I didn't really know where to start. So I kept kind of reading synopsis to find where I should start. This one is about a royal family, and I know it's like set in like a fake royal country, and it's one of her older books, I believe. So maybe it wasn't right to start with that one, but it was the one that kind of like sounded like something I would really enjoy the most. So I saw this at the used bookstore when I was looking through her books, and I was so excited because it was kind of expensive on Amazon. But this is 3 books in one, and it's kind of the whole like royal series. All I know is it follows a couple of different stories about people in the royal family in this fake made up country, and it sounds like right up my alley, so I'll let you guys know. I don't know, I'm hoping I like Nora Roberts because she's got like a billion books to read, so hopefully I like her. Okay guys, so those are all the books that I got in the month of November. Let me know what books you guys got, I'd love to know, or let me know if you've read any of these or if you're interested in any of them, and I will see you guys very soon. Bye!